Hey guys, welcome back. Coach Jason. Hope you're doing well. So I'm going to finish the series today. We're doing 5 workouts to help you achieve certain milestones. We've done sub 25K, sub 19, 18, 17, and 16. And the last one is going to be 5 workouts to help you get under 15 minutes for 5K. That's what we're going to do today. It's the same 5 workouts that we've gone all from 20 minutes all the way down, but you see the progression in the workouts. Okay. After today, we're going to go back up to 20 minutes. And we're going to do 5 new workouts. So by the end of that round, you'll have 10 workouts at your disposal that you can utilize for 5Ks. And with each one, you'll see a fully detailed training program that goes along with it to help that same exact milestone. Okay, so you can see how everything's broken down in terms of a fully detailed training plan. You'll also see or have an idea of how you can incorporate these into a program that you might like. Okay, it gives you a lot of options. You'll see other options as well in those training programs. So you'll have probably 15 or 20 workouts that you could utilize. So, but if you're going to watch those videos, watch them from beginning to end because I do explain everything. So I want you to have as much intel as possible and much logic and reasoning and the science as possible and the progression and stuff. So you're in a position to make good decisions on a regular basis as a coach or an athlete. So with that, let's get to it. Okay, we'll go over the 5 workouts and then I'm going to take you over to the whiteboard and you'll see how everything's written down. So maybe it'll make a little bit more sense after I go through the workouts in detail. So, by the way, if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. Regulars, thank you for your support. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It's really helpful to the channel, and it lets other people know that this channel exists out there. And that's ideally what I want to do. My next goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers. So we're approaching 700. So your support is really, really appreciated. Okay, and share this with other people in the running community, friends, coaches, athletes. I want to help as many people as possible, but I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of February if I can. So, and please hit the thumbs up as well. It's really helpful to the channel's growth. So, with that, let's get to it. Okay. Number 1, 3 to 4 times 1 mile repeats. Okay. There's 2 ways I recommend doing this workout. And again, it's up to you to decide what's most appropriate for your athletes. Middle distance runners, just people who need certain little this, a little bit of that. You know your athletes better than anybody else does. Okay. So there's 2 ways of doing it. The first way is locking into goal pace. And the goal pace for 5K pace is about 446 to 448 per mile. Okay. So you're looking to run these at that pace or building towards that. So the first way to do it, this workout's done 3 times in my view over a 15-week season or even a 16-week season. I generally have my athletes, and I've done this stuff for athletes over 20 years. Okay, with a lot of success. Let's say week 4, week 8, and week 12 are the 3 times you do the workout. The first time you do it, and this workout is done at goal pace. Okay, for the first way. Okay, for option number 1. Week 4, week 8, and week 12, the goal is to do them at goal pace. Either 3 of them or building towards 4 of them. But the difference is in the recovery. So the first time you do these with a 5-minute recovery. The second time you do it, week 8, okay, the first time is week 4, the second is week 8, with a 4-minute recovery. And then the third time you do it, week 12, is with a 3-minute recovery. So the progression here is not the pace, it's the decreasing recovery. Okay? And the goal is to lock in the earliest possible. And I follow the 10% rule, and I do mention this in other videos. I wouldn't start this workout until your athletes are at least 30 miles per week. Okay? And using the 10% rule. So if you're at 30, no more than 3 reps. I don't even go to 4 reps until they're running at least 40 miles per week. And even if they go to 50 or 60, I still keep them at 4 reps. If you can get to the point where you do 4 times a mile at your 5K pace with a short, relatively solid recovery, you're in good shape. Period. Okay? So that's the first way to do it. Option B or option 2 is keeping the recovery the same. Okay? But let's say you're at 15:40 right now. So you say you're about 5-minute pace per mile. So week 4 is going to be at your current pace, which would be 5 minutes per mile. Okay? With a 3-minute recovery. Week 8 is also going to be with a 3-minute recovery, but halfway between current and goal. So let's say about 452 to 453 per mile with the same 3-minute recovery. And then week 12, the third time you do it, will be at goal pace, 446 to 448 with the same 3-minute recovery. So the progression here is not the recovery, it's the decrease in pace. Okay? So there's 2 ways of doing it. Generally, I don't recommend increasing the training intensities of certain workouts until you have time trials or other races that can help support that. And over time you should be able to do this stuff. But this is the type of work. That's why I'm giving you 2 options, because you might have some athletes that respond better to one than the other. So it's important to know both. So that's workout 1. Workout 2, 6 to 8 times 800 meters with a 2-minute recovery at the equivalent 3K pace. The equivalent 3K pace in this situation is about 216 to 217 per rep. Okay, the younger, less experienced, or even your more middle distance oriented athletes, generally towards 6, and then your older, more experienced, or more distance oriented athletes are actually working from 6 to 8 reps. Okay, with the 2-minute recovery. Okay, so now you've got work at 5K pace and you've got work at 3K pace. Workout 3 is done at 10K pace. Okay, and this is a 20 to a 25 minute consecutive tempo run, or in this case, anaerobic threshold. Okay, this is generally about 15 to 20 seconds slower per mile than 5K pace. 3K pace is 15 seconds per mile faster. Now we're going 15 seconds per mile slower. So in this case, it's about 4:58 to 5 minutes, or 4:58 to 5:02 per mile. That range, that's the pace range for this. 20 minutes of consecutive running or building towards it. And if you can get to the point where you're doing 25, that's fantastic. But that's kind of the sweet spot. Anything beyond 25 can become counterproductive. So, and if you're averaging 5 minutes per mile or get to that point, you're running essentially 5 miles. Okay, a 25-minute 5 mile in a workout. That's a good, solid tempo. Okay, and this is also something that you could take a 5-minute recovery afterward and do some acceleratory work on the back end. Whether it's a couple of hill sprints or flat sprints or alternating between the two every time you do this to simulate turning over. But it's always good to complement this after a few minutes of active recovery with some speed development on the back end. So again, this is a 20 to 25 minute consecutive anaerobic threshold run. You're building towards that over time. Okay, that's workout 3. Okay, workout 4, you've got a 10-kilometer rolling fartlek run. Now we're combining a bunch of paces. Okay, so you do your warm up, your strides, your drills, and all that stuff, and then we're going to time a 10-kilometer effort. Okay, and in that effort, accelerations from 2 minutes down to 30 seconds. The 2 minutes on the slower end, 30 seconds on the faster end. The pace range is about 5 minutes to 4:36 per mile. Okay, so the 2-minute stuff at 5 minutes per mile, the 30-second stuff's at 4:36, and anything in between, if you do 90 seconds or 1 minute efforts, you mix and match the paces in between, or progression between those two ends. Every time you do it, 1 minute easy recovery jog after each one. Okay, this is a workout that you can repeat as well, and I suggest if you repeat it, you do the same exact accelerations as you did the time before. Now, 2 ways you can kind of make it a little bit faster. And obviously the goal is to make the 10-kilometer timed effort a little bit faster. You can either run the harder efforts harder or the easier efforts a little bit harder, which makes the workout a little bit more intense. Okay? And then obviously on the back end, you're doing a cool down jog as well. So a 10-kilometer timed effort here. And again, you're combining multiple paces now. Okay? And this is something that the Kenyans and Africans are notorious doing, implementing fartleks in training and bringing them into races, and it causes havoc for a lot of their competition on the international scale. It's just wreaks havoc, and that's one of the reasons why they're so good. So that's workout 4. Workout 5 is 3 sets of a broken mile. On occasion, you might have an athlete that can get to 4 sets. You're more experienced, you're more fitter, you're more distance-oriented athletes. Great, but 3 sets is the sweet spot. Okay, I have it broken down 600/1000. Okay, and this is how you lay it out. The 600 meter efforts are done at 143 to 144. They're at 3K pace. The 1,000 meter efforts are at 258, 259. That's with a 5-minute recovery. Okay, so this is the way to do it: 600 at 3K pace, 2-minute recovery, and then your 1,000 at 5K pace, 5-minute recovery. Then another 600 with a 2-minute recovery, 1,000 with a 5-minute recovery, 600 with a 2-minute recovery, 1,000 meter effort with a 5-minute recovery. That's the workout. 3 miles of total running, but some of it at 3K pace, some of it at 5K pace. And again, you might have an athlete here and there that can do 4 sets. No more than 4 sets. Okay? And that's the workout. Again, fluctuating paces, but a pretty intense workout. Okay? And then obviously you do your warm-up and you cool down and all that stuff. So these are the 5 workouts. Okay? Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've used stuff like this before. Give me some feedback in the comments down below. I appreciate your insight as athletes and coaches. Let me know if you subscribe in the comments so I could personally thank you. I just appreciate your support. Again, I want to make this into one of the best running channels out there in terms of content. So I'm going to continue bringing out good stuff. So now let's move you over to the whiteboard so you can actually take a look at this stuff. Oh, yeah. Okay. So let's take you here. Get my little pointer. All right. So the first workout. There it is, 3 to 4 times a mile. Okay. At 446 to 448. 5K pace. Okay. You're progressing from either 5 minutes down to 3 minutes or keeping at 3 minutes. Okay. Depending on which way you want to do it. That's workout 1. Workout 2 is the 6 to 8 by 800 meter efforts with a 2-minute recovery at 216 and 217, which is equivalent 3K pace. Okay. Number 3, 20-minute tempo run, up to 25 if you have more experienced athletes, more distance-oriented athletes that can do that. But 20 minutes is the minimum. That's the sweet spot. Okay. Continuous at 458 to 5 minutes per mile. Take a 5-minute active recovery and then some acceleration work on the back end. Again, what do you feel is most appropriate, whether it's short hills or short flats or 300s or whatever it is, it's up to you to decide for your athletes or for yourself. Okay. Number 4, your 10-kilometer timed rolling fartlek. Okay. 2-minute efforts down to 30-second efforts with a 1-minute easy recovery jog after each one. And the pace range is 5 minutes to 4:36 per mile. Okay. And the last one is 3 sets of 600/1000, or 3 sets of a broken mile. 600s are at 143 to 144. You take a 2-minute recovery. And the 1000s are at 258 to 259, which is sub 15-minute 5K pace. You take a 5-minute recovery after that, and you just repeat until you have 3 of them done. Okay. The 5-minute rest is essentially the break in between the set. So, but it's also a longer rep, so it should get a little bit longer recovery. So those are the 5 workouts. Let me know what you think. Okay. And again, we're going to go back up to sub 20 after this and do 5 new workouts. So be safe and train hard. Look out for each other. I'll see you on the other end.